Many Linux system administrators perform the vast majority of their tasks at the command line. A lot of technicians would agree that it is faster to complete administrative duties from within the shell environment. Although you could administer a Red Hat Enterprise Linux system entirely with graphical tools, the RHCSA exam expects that you know how to work from the command line, and your ability to pass the exam could depend on it. Practically every Linux desktop environment includes a way to access a shell. GNOME has terminal, just as KDE has console, spelled with a K. To access the terminal from the default GNOME environment of Red Hat Enterprise Linux, go to Applications, System Tools, and Terminal. We can even drag the menu item of the terminal to the panel so that we can get to it easier in the future. The shell environment itself is Bash, the Bourne Again shell, which is a reference to Stephen Bourne, the creator of the original shell environment for the Unix operating system. There are multiple shell environments available to Linux, such as the Korn shell and the C shell. The default for Red Hat Enterprise Linux is the Bash shell. With Terminal, we can open up multiple tabs to run various commands concurrently. We can also edit the profile to change the colors of the environment. While in the desktop environment, we can access the different terminals known as the Virtual Consoles or TTY console, which is short for teletype, by pressing Ctrl, Alt, and F1 through F6. Just log in with your username and password. We will use root for our example here. While in the Virtual Console itself, we can just press Alt and an F number to access another terminal. For instance, Alt and F5 will bring us to another terminal. Alt and F4 brings us back to the one we were just at. Again, you can do this by pressing the Alt key and F1 through F6 to jump between the different terminals. We will display a text file so we can show you how to scroll up and down the screen itself while in a terminal. To do this, just press the Shift key and the Page Up key to scroll up, Shift key and Page Down key to scroll down. This is helpful in case you run a command where the output scrolls across the screen. To return back to a desktop environment, just press the Ctrl, Alt, and F7 key. And here we are back in our desktop environment. Part of the beauty of Linux is that nearly everything that is configured on the system is in human-readable script files. This case is no different for how the Bash environment is constructed. Here is a breakdown of how a login shell, which is a shell that is started when a user logs in, works. When a login shell is started, the etc profile script is ran. This script sets up the user's environment variables such as the user's path, hostname, history size, and others. The etc profile script will also run the scripts found in etc profile.d. Next, the bash_profile script in the user's home directory is run. This script modifies some environment variables that are stored in the etc profile script. Next, the bash_profile script calls the bashrc script in the user's home directory. This script sets local variables such as the ps1 variable, which dictates how the command prompt appears. A non-login shell, which is started by scripts, graphical terminals such as this one, and shells started by other bash shells utilize the same scripts, just in a different order. The first script that gets run for a non-login shell is the bashrc script in the user's home directory, the one we were just looking at. This script in turn calls the etc bashrc script, and this script calls the scripts in etc profile.d. Look these scripts over so that you will have a better understanding of how the shell environment is created.